am Darrell,
And I'm Elia.
and we are Black Nerdy Scholars. Welcome back. We're
Hey,
back
guys.
on our after our week off from DreamCon. We were at DreamCon last week.
Doing DreamCon
Yeah.
stuff at the con.
Doing
with
those
my
DreamCon
friends.
activities. Actually, don't put that on me because DreamCon
Wait.
activities, I wasn't doing some of those.
I did heard they get really freaky. I didn't.
I heard they get
so
really
I can't
freaky.
say for sure, but I do know nerds are freaky in general. So
If you guys don't, if listeners may not know, DreamCon is a convention that is pretty much oriented around Black nerds. It's not like exclusive, but being there, it's 99% Black people. Of all kinds of different nerddom, anime, video games, cartoons, film, comics, yada yada yada. And also as of like these past couple years, just streaming in general is a thing. Originally created by Odyssey World 1 and those boys, those adult men. They put on a convention every year that now is in Hughson, Texas, and it's just a good time. They have music, they have shows, lots of merch to buy, a lot of events. They put on a basketball game and a dodgeball game, and now they do a Marvel Rivals tour. I also got this from DreamCon.
Hey.
Yours JJK. Mine is Don Don.
Yes,
nice
Momo.
little Don Don shirt. Yeah.
Love her.
Thoughts? How'd you enjoy DreamCon?
I quite enjoyed it. I think I would have enjoyed it more if I dressed up. So when I do go again, I'm gonna make more of an effort to dress up. As characters people might recognize. I like taking pictures with people. So if you like seeing people in cool cosplays and just talking to people you may never talk to ever again, but in that moment the interaction means everything. Definitely a place for that.
I'm not a big. No, you go ahead.
Oh no, I was gonna pivot. So if you wanna.
Well, then what I was going to say is like I'm not a big picture taker.
Yeah.
That's not like a part of my practice when I go on vacation or go on trips or whatever. Not a big picture taker. And I'm also not a big talk to a person I'm never gonna meet again and just like lean into the whimsy of life in a single conversation. I don't like talking to people. And I know that I don't like that about me. Because I also know that there are a lot of people online that have similar inclinations. And I think those people are annoying.
I hate to like with them.
Yeah, kind of. Like every time. Yeah, go ahead.
You don't really make it your personality perhaps in the same way. Like those
people
are like I just hate people. Oh my god. I'm just too good for everyone.
Yeah, it's like, well, I'm just sitting here with no friends. Like I used to kind of have that affect, but I do have friends. And I do see them regularly. So like I don't want to feel that
you don't
way.
See me regularly on the
internet. I mean, I do see you regularly. So yeah, next year I agree. I do want to cosplay more. Cosplay is a big part of the culture.
Yeah.
I want to practice having one-off conversations with strangers. I will say, at least at the convention proper, it did feel a little less freaked out compared to last year, mostly with the cosplay. I feel like last year the cosplays during the convention were real cheeked up.
Yeah.
And I feel like that wasn't as bad this year, personally. Though there were a lot of like Gooner stalls. Like there are a lot of different
I did see a lot of Gooner
stores
stalls
with a lot of Gooner posters, big booba posters, like massive body pillows with the Did
you see any Gooner couples? I actually didn't see any this year. But I have a con I've been to.
What do you mean by Gooner couple?
I saw it one time when I
Like
was at a
content
con
creator?
in DC. Oh god, no, that would be scary. It was just like a
Okay.
couple with t-shirts, hentai t-shirts on. Like, you know, the hentai
Oh.
panel
Oh, yeah.
t-shirts?
I did see one where it's like they
Okay.
both have the overly what's the overly graphic tee, the too
Yeah.
graphic tee. Yeah, yeah,
Or it's
yeah.
like it's I forgot what the face is called
A
in
Hago?
hentai. Is that the freaked out face? Like the
Mm-hmm.
moaning
A
face?
Hagao? I'm pretty sure
Yeah,
that's how you
yeah.
pronounce it. Yeah,
Yeah, I
yeah,
saw
yeah,
like
yeah.
they both had a collage of like different panels of different women with that face.
I
And I
feel
was like,
like I
wow.
feel like we saw the same couple. I feel like we saw the same couple.
Not they're notorious. I mean, I'm
I
not
also don't.
hating.
Yeah, I'm also not hating. Well, I'm not hating.
Uh,
I don't get it, and I
yeah,
also
I
know
don't get it.
sometimes there are children there. But
Yeah.
I can't say anything to this couple that I also wouldn't say to some of the stalls.
Yeah. Which
At
are
the
arguably
sanction
worse
event.
because, like, damn, stacked to the ceiling with anime,
Like with
titty
just
porn.
breast. Like literally, it's I don't know. It's not for me. I guess there's a market there, but it's really not for me. I do hear, because I haven't attended any of these things, that most of the freaked out stuff happens afterwards. Like there are
Yeah.
big freaked out parties that I don't go
Yeah.
to because one, I'm in a like committed relationship, and then two, as as a couple, that's just not our vibe. We're not big party
Yeah.
people. Instead, we mostly watch like Game of Thrones or a King. What's the goddamn
A
A
Tale
Night
of
of
Two
the Seven
Kingdoms?
Kingdoms? A Night of
Oh,
the Seven
what the hell did I
Kingdoms.
just say? What is that?
A
Tale of Two
Tale of Two
Cities.
Kingdoms. Yeah, yeah, yeah. There,
I just
I'm
made that
sure
up.
there's a book like that somewhere. So, like, what was
probably
your experience with
romantic-y.
like? What was your experience with like the parties or the party?
I went to
afterwards?
one DreamCon, what's it called? One that was actually from DreamCon. I didn't
Like
go to
sanctioned.
yeah, so it wasn't like LAN party or any of the
Yeah.
Trap Sushi, I think, is one of the
Yeah,
people
or
who
just
throw
like the
parties.
meetups at the local bars and stuff.
Yeah, I did go to a few bars, but when I went to the party that was from DreamCon, the music was really good actually. Like, as
Yeah.
someone who comes from SoCal, you know, I don't necessarily always hear a ton of hip hop, trap. It'll, you know, you either get, white people bar music. It's interesting. I
Mhm.
find white people bar music interesting because it feels like almost like they're trapped in time. Like, I don't ever hear new
Sure.
white people bangers. You know, they like a lot of
Sure.
Pitbull, stuff like that. No shade to Pitbull. I always love a good Pitbull
No,
song.
but I'll say a quick thing because I don't want to spin off on a tangent. I do think that culture is a millennial culture.
Okay,
That's part of why the music is what it is, especially like with DreamCon, huge millennial presence. There are a lot of 30-somethings at DreamCon.
But I had no complaints about like the. Well, also I guess because I'm a Zillennial, but maybe I'm receiving the white Zillennial music a little differently. Because, for example, when they played freaking, what is the song called? The Drake "I'm So High Even When I'm Coming Down." Just met a girl, said she from the H-Town.
You said this is Drake?
Niggas will know what I'm talking about. Yeah, it was like
I
OG
haven't listened to
mixtape
Drake since More Life.
No,
so I don't really know nothing.
This is nigga. This is like pre freaking Marvin's Room Drake. This is
Oh
old.
yeah, I don't remember that.
But yeah, so basically, I think that would be considered a millennial banger, perhaps.
Sure.
But also they also did a good job of infusing, of course, like anime music or theme songs. You would know they did this fire ass Don
sure
remix. Niggas was mixing Finito with, actually there was some controversy because apparently I don't remember what song, but apparently someone did it last year. Like, they mixed the same theme song and with Finito, and it was like, hey, you stole my. I don't know. It was unserious, to be honest. But yeah, I thought my biggest complaint about the party would probably be like, it was impossible to get a drink. There's like 3 bartenders and like hundreds of people just in a huge mass. I'm like, I'm not even gonna try. But I did enjoy the bars after, I was like hanging out, dancing. The music's nice. Uh, I met some people. They were cool.
That's
It's
cool.
a little different, I think, than some of this will probably go on after hours. I mean, not fucking office hours. I'm still calling it after hours, but it's it's different being like black in Houston than being like black in SoCal. I was like, whoa,
Yeah.
the hose
Yeah.
on my
I also
body.
have some complaints about Houston that I'll probably pop off in office hours.
Yeah. Oh, and I can also
Okay.
tell my story about my food out the van in the office
Oh
hours.
yeah. All right. Well,
Yes.
if you guys want to hear more about DreamCon, more about Houston, go ahead and swing by office hours. Um,
We'll say all the
but
juicy shit there.
the now the not juicy stuff. Let's get into the content catch up. What have you been spending your time with?
Yes. Okay. So I started a new game that I've had my eye on for a while. It's called Cabernet. It's You're
Okay.
essentially playing as this Victorian woman, so, like 1900s. She's a doctor, yes, but you're starting it off and she's dead. So basically, you're playing as a baby vampire, so very traditional gothic, right up my alley. And you're just
Mm-hmm.
navigating the world as like a newly turned vampire, and you can kind of decide what sort of path you want to take. There's like a nihilism path, and then there's a path where you can like tap into your humanity more. I'm kind of basic, so I I I wanted to do nihilism at first, but then I'm like, oh my gosh, I actually
Mm-hmm.
care about how the community around me is affected. And now I'm like
Ah,
fully on like
curses,
a
caring
human
about the
path.
community.
Yes, even in games. But
Yeah.
yes, I actually quite like the human path and interacting with the different vampires and even the human characters. And
Mm-hmm.
like I befriended the old lady neighbor and I love her. She's like, yeah, this town's kind of weird. Everyone keeps odd hours, everyone's awake at night mostly. Things are left quite long and open or whatever. But she's like,
Mm-hmm.
I've always been a night owl, so I don't mind it. It's I think it's cool because you're seeing like maybe like the everyday of what it might be if you got turned into a vampire in the
Mm-hmm.
1900s.
So
You of course have
what is
stats.
the
Yeah.
I was just about to ask, what's the gameplay
Yeah.
loop like? How's it play?
Yeah. So you're going through a day, which of course is not necessarily a day since you're a vampire. So you're going through the night, and then you'll like go to bed in your coffin, which is how you reset. So
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of the gameplay loop, I can, not that I would see why someone else is boring, but like find it boring, but I quite like it. Like there's even points where you can like read books, like make your character read, and they're like real books. So
Raid.
yeah, so you got some Chekhov in there. You got some, of course, you got Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. That's one that stuck
Okay,
out to
now
me.
when
The
you say
Seagull.
read these books, how much of the books are actually in there? Is it just like click Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde and you get like points up? Or is there actual
Yeah,
text from these novels?
I I don't know if there's like, not when you actually read, you're getting
Mm-hmm.
text. There might be moments where you like encounter text from different novels or whatnot. But the reading is more of like boosting your stats, since one of the stats is like literature.
Mm-hmm.
Um, is So you got like arts, you have literature, you have science, and you have
Okay.
history and politics. So you're raising your stats based on that. Of course,
Okay.
naturally, I have the most points currently in literature, but I've
Sure.
actually been fucking up because I'm a doctor, so I had to get my science up because I'm like, oh shit, I can't
Sure.
diagnose niggas because I don't. I'm a doctor with no science skills.
And
But
so
yeah,
like
it's
is
really
it what then do you do with those stats? Like is it
you.
like what kind of game is it? Is it
It's
just like
like,
a visual novel?
I would say it's kind of like it's an RPG technically. I think because of how it's
Mm-hmm.
structured, like your stats will actually, you'll be able to unlock certain scenes or like pathways. Like some of it will be locked behind like a stat check, but it's
Is it
like,
like a point and click type of thing?
yeah,
Like that kind of adventure? Okay.
yeah. Like I use my keyboard, of course, but like you'll like click
Sure.
to go around. Oh, you can also be a bat. That's fun.
Okay.
You can travel from flying and stuff as a bat. It's very like
Uh-huh.
traditional sort of like Dracula view, I think, of vampires, which is cool.
Draculian.
It's interesting. It's because sometimes a lot of the vampire you're playing as, her knowledge is being drawn from like literature. Like she's like, oh yeah, like this is the process of being like a fledgling and whatnot based on what I've read. But it's very much like the points are for stats. You'll unlock certain paths based on like what path you're on, so nihilism or human or whatnot. And yeah, it's cool if you like a good story. But also I know a lot of people are into like self-insert games. This is not gonna be one.
Sure.
You're playing as like a character with a story and like a life, and she's a white woman, but I love her to death in my heart.
Sure.
But yeah, that's the game I have been currently playing, and I got my friends to get it too because they were eyeballing it, and I'm like, yeah, get that on Switch.
Okay. Cabernet.
Yeah. Oh, it's titled for in this world. Cabernet is like a way you can drink blood without like directly drinking from a human, but it's super expensive because of how much blood it requires from the human. So like you got to drain the fuck out of a human in order to make Cabernet. So it's kind of like it, like its name. It's kind of like a reference or play upon wine. So you know how wine ranges depending on the quality and expenses and whatnot. But yeah.
Sure. Okay. No, that does sound interesting. It's
a lot of fun.
I've been over.
Oh wait, 1 second.
Yeah.
Who's meowing at my door?
While at DreamCon, like I said earlier, I managed to finally finish A Night of the Seven Kingdoms, and I watched the ending of it with Kenny, and she got really into it. And so since then, I have been rewatching Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
With my partner Kenny, and it's her first time seeing it. And this is gonna be my first like full rewatch since the ending.
Yeah.
And as most people know, just like the ending is really like critically bad, just
still haven't watched it.
Abysmally bad. It's not. It's so bad that it's just like not worth it. It's just not worth watching. It's not even like fun. It's not even like, whoa, how'd they fuck it up that bad? It's like, how did they?
You're purely watching for some part of your brain that wants you to complete.
That just needs the closure. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so like it has been interesting seeing myself get interested or excited and then come down from that excitement of different plot points, knowing that they go nowhere or end like unsatisfactorily. But it has been making me want to read the books because I know that in the books there are a lot of different characters and plot points that are just not included in the show.
My dad is a super fan of the Game of Thrones books.
Oh yeah? But I don't want to read the books and then not finish.
I mean, shit.
And it's feeling like those books aren't coming out. Right. I don't want to speculate this man's like passing because that feels really foul. Though I guess saying it out loud is me doing it. But it's like I don't want to be left with the pit that I can't fill. Though I do wonder if the show was almost a test balloon.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because from what I've heard,
it would be received well.
Yes. From what I've heard, and I saw clips of George R. R. Martin saying this himself, but like I think HBO wanted upwards of 13 seasons. Like they were prepared to throw way more money at it. Maybe 10. But I feel like I heard the number 13. Cat. Carmi the cat has landed in Leah's lap.
Yes.
He
just trying to fight my headphones.
What is your deal, dude? We're doing a show here.
He likes to chew. Oh my god, you can't just slip all over me. He likes to chew cords and headphones. Like you can't keep wired headphones around him or he'll.
All right, well, get rid of them. We got work to do. I gotta complain about Game of Thrones.
Can you move?
Anyway, yeah, they ended at 8
Okay.
seasons, and the ending is bad. And it has been really interesting seeing Kenny's reaction to certain bits, especially as someone that like doesn't know anything.
I kind of wish I could be there again, like
Yeah,
watching
no, I
it and
get
not
that.
knowing anything.
Yeah, because I know, like, I don't know. It's just not fun. It's not as fun as I wish it were to go back through this series that I think is really, really, really good in the first half, and then just
Yeah.
slowly gets really, really bad. Like the point that I went, I don't like this show anymore, was in season 6. Spoilers for this like decade old show. But in season 6 is when Cersei blows up the Sept of Baelor.
Yeah. Will we
And
lose
that's the
what's our girl's
Tyrells.
name? Yeah, we lose the
Natalie
Tyrells.
Dormer. Yeah.
Yeah.
And she
I
blows
used
up
to
the
have a huge
Sept, and
crush on her. I can't
it's
lie.
like Marjorie's dead, Loras is dead, and then as a result, Tommen jumps out of the window. It's like that season felt like clearing house, so they had less stuff to do as they wrapped it up, and it just pissed me off. It felt so whack that
It felt like they like
Mhm.
nerfed them or like
literally it's like they all of a sudden people who are known for their intelligence are suddenly so stupid and they don't do nothing, and they just make moves because there are writers puppeteering what's happening. And so it's like Cersei does this big thing and now she's, I guess, just queen, and we got to keep moving
what
on. Like
this
people
yeah.
around the world don't talk about this thing that should be this massive act of terror and like this egregious thing. We just move past it. And then they start
It
fast
pisses me
traveling
off.
all over Westeros. Oh my
Yeah.
god. Go ahead. I'm
In
sorry.
the same way that like an anime or a manga that starts off really good and then like it becomes bad like halfway through, which obviously this could apply to a show, but
Yeah.
I don't know, it feels like the rage I feel is like similar to when an anime,
because it's like the rage comes from care. Like, I really liked you.
Investment.
I really liked you, and I spent all this time with and on you, and now all of a sudden you're spitting in my soup, and like what's going on?
And not even like, okay, sometimes seasons are just not as good as the prior seasons, but when it goes from being so good to so bad, it hurts you. It hurts you inside.
Yeah.
It's painful.
Yeah. Yeah. But I'm gonna at least get her through season 4, because I think season 4 is where it peaks for me personally.
Yeah. Oh wait, when does my here another spoiler for this?
We're spoilers for Game of Thrones all through this section.
When does my man die? Like, when does Rob get killed in the Red Wedding? I don't remember.
At the end of season 3.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
hopefully
man.
People that haven't seen it yet, and I'll tell Kenny to skip past this.
Yeah.
Spoilers for the show. But yeah,
if you manage to avoid Rob dying all this time, I commend you. I really do.
Yeah. So yeah, that's Game of Thrones. It's really good media until it's not. Yeah. But let's talk about some other really good media. Let's get to the discussion of the day. Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey.
The nigga's done it.
It's really good. He did it again. Hit the it's so good. I gotta say,
Sad Dad movie of the year.
I love Sad Dads.
Literally, when I was watching, I'm like, ooh, Darrell is gonna love it.
It was made for me specifically. Love a Sad Dad. And I think I gotta say, I was not a believer. You can go back and watch the other episode that we did.
Yeah,
I
gotta see it first.
I think it's gonna be okay. I was fully in the camp of like, it's probably gonna be fine, maybe a little meandery. I was wrong. I was really wrong. I think before we get into one, I don't know I don't think we need to do a spoiler free because the story's been told over and over again, and it's going to be hard to talk about this without talking about the things that have changed.
Yeah.
And so, full spoilers for the Odyssey. Go see this fucking movie. If you don't care, stay around. Spoil yourself. That's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with spoilers.
Yeah.
Really good. Couple things I want to address first. One is the Elliot Page, Lupita Nyong'o stuff. They are both in the movie for a combined 5 minutes. So if that was your problem with the movie, they're barely in it. And then two,
also, if that was your problem, you fucking suck. Just saying.
Whatever. I don't think people need any reason not to like a thing. Just go be a hater somewhere else, and that's okay. Like, do it quietly from your corner as we talk about this thing.
Away from me.
Away from me. And the second thing is Tom Holland saying dad. If you were worried about him saying dad, he also says father in this movie. He says both. So if that was your turn off, he does say father. Honestly, he says father more than dad. So not a thing to really complain about. Right? Are those the two main controversies? Or I guess the third one is just the cast.
Yeah, I was gonna say there might have been a little pushback on Zendaya being Athena, which is like, okay.
Yeah.
I mean, for similar reasons.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
The cast is star-studded, and I was concerned about that before going into the movie. But I do think as I started watching, as like I settled in, I wasn't really distracted by the cast personally. Yeah, in fact, it felt like, wow, a bunch of people that are really good at what they do from all corners of the same realm came together and did a big group project, right? Like every now and then, artists that are really good get together for a big thing. And it's like, holy shit, you guys are all making music together, you know?
And it's good.
Yeah. So Christopher Nolan's the cast list. I'm probably gonna forget people. Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey, starring Matt Damon,
as
Tom
Odysseus.
Holland, Anne Hathaway, Robert Pattinson. We don't have to do all their names. We're gonna be saying words. John Bernthal, Benny Safdie, Charlize Theron, Himesh Patel, John Leguizamo, Zendaya, Elliot Page, Mia Goth jump scare. Did not know she was in the movie. Lupita Nyong'o, Chloe Hawkins. I think those are most of the big names people would know.
Oh, fun fact, Christian Bale plays the Cyclops.
I don't know if that's true.
No, it is.
I don't know if that's true.
What? Am I spreading misinformation?
I'm seeing Google say Bill Irwin is Polyphemus.
Oh my god. Okay, yeah. Ignore my misinformation.
Did you spread misinformation?
Yeah. Wait. I realize how it became in misinformation now that I'm like rereading what I read. Because the joke was Christian Bale put on like 78,000 pounds for the role of the Cyclops, but that me realizing in retrospect, that's just a joke about, because you know Christian Bale's known to like have drastic weight changes. Takes on.
Yeah, Bill Irwin does Polyphemus, the Cyclops.
My fault. Bill Irwin.
Yeah. He's gonna find you. He's gonna find you in his gross little skin suit thing that he wears for the Odyssey.
Please.
Okay.
And I'm gonna be scared.
So, we will have to talk about some of the changes and some of the particulars with like theme and plot, but I'd like to go through some of the more filmic aspects first.
Yeah.
Right. So as far as acting, for me personally, I think Anne Hathaway really shined. I think she really shined. Easily the most captive in a performance that I've been definitely in this movie, but definitely in a while, honestly.
She's coming for that Oscar.
Like genuinely. It's kind of hers. It's kind of hers. We'll see. We'll see. Zendaya has like 4 more projects this year, so who knows? But it feels like it's something. she'll probably be in there for the drama.
Oh yeah,
she'll
She'll
probably
be the
be
lead
nominated
actress.
for the drama, but I think Anne Hathaway performed better.
Can I say, I felt like I love how. Okay, maybe this might be getting too much into the analysis. Should I?
Yeah. Let's focus on the acting.
That?
Let's focus on the acting.
Bet.
Let's do this section by section. I think Tom Holland,
he was good.
Wasn't as bad as I was.
He was as bad as people were making it seem like he would be.
Yeah, I do think I think it's less about his acting and more about his face. Personally, I think he is distracting because it's hard to.
Face.
Right. No, right. Because it's like he comes on screen. I'm like, Spider-Man. Like that's Thomas Holland. I don't know if his.
I think that helps that I haven't seen Spider-Man, so I don't have like perhaps the same relationship with Tom Holland.
Yeah, Thomas Stanley.
I felt like he was good at playing like a guy who was like kind of. He just missing his dad. He's kind of like, where's my dad?
Yeah, I think the scenes with Anne Hathaway were his best. I think in scenes with Anne Hathaway were some of the best acting I've ever seen him do. Not totally, because he does
that combo about King being King. Yes.
Yeah, like once a movie, especially in the Spider-Man movies, once a movie he just really turns it on, and that's it. And he had a couple of those moments in this movie where I was like, okay, period. I think
he at least he has some desire to be like a serious actor.
Yeah,
you know,
from how he's talked about this film, it does seem like this film has lit a fire in him. Have you heard some of the stuff he said?
I have not,
because he filmed this and Spider-Man roughly overlapping, and he told a story about how he would work on Christopher Nolan's set and see how they do things, and would call like PAs on the Spider-Man set or something like that. I might be getting this wrong, but he'll talk to people on the Spider-Man set and be like, "Hey, what are we doing? We can't like." He was like, Marvel has a practice of shooting films before they're fully written and just figuring out what the background looks like and like after the fact. And he's like, no, Christopher Nolan, he's like guy who went to Italy once, but with film now. Well, on Christopher Nolan's sets, he does it like this. And I honestly love that. Good.
Honestly, he has a point.
He keeps that up.
He
does have a point. 100%.
He worked with Christopher Nolan. Of course, you're gonna like. That's gonna color the rest of your experiences, especially with like movies like Marvel that perhaps put less into the actual making of the film. You know?
Yeah. And I do think, speaking of Christopher Nolan, like this definitely, if he hasn't been settled before, the Odyssey definitely makes him the Christopher Nolan, right? I think direction has been really, really good. I think with the screenplay that he wrote, I think a lot of the direction stuff he did. Because do think, good.
Or no, that was not true. But I just briefly remember an interview. Wait, no, the rest. This will be true. An interview with his son or something. A conversation he had with his son and how he was like hiding his Oscars, or at least he didn't want to look at them when he was writing because he felt like they were distracting. And then his son was like, well, you haven't won any awards for writing, so I don't know why you but I'm laughing because I'm like, I don't know, this might be his time. He's at least gonna get that nom.
This is it. Like I thought it was worth it. I think it definitely gets the nom. Definitely gets for best adaptation.
I don't know if he'll win, but he's getting the nom for the writing.
For sure. For sure. I do think when it comes to direction, there is one complaint, like my most major complaint about this film lies in its direction. Specifically the way he directed some of the like one-on-one dialogue heavy scenes. There's a lot of very static reverse shot in this film. And it just feels like a film of this caliber could do more interesting shit with the camera during those moments. Like, he does really good camera stuff during the action heavy moments, the siege of Troy, the storm, like Poseidon's storm on the water.
Yes.
Like, there's really good camera stuff there, but it just feels like a lot of time when people are just talking, the camera's not moving. Do you have any agree or disagree? Any thoughts about his direction?
This might be a personal thing. I felt maybe a little bit about some of the I don't want to call them flashbacks, or like when people were like telling stories of things happening, and then you kind of like get like a flash to the story, like how we got with when Menelaus was telling what happened to Agamemnon,
like in the editing.
Yeah, I was like, I feel like maybe I want a little more from it, but I get it because it's like it's so long.
I get what you mean.
Yeah,
because I think the first couple of times. Sorry, yeah. Go ahead.
No, continue.
Well, I feel like when it comes to the editing, I think the first couple of times it jumps in time between the present, and Odysseus's past. It was like interesting, but as we finished Act 1, it felt like they did the same trick over and over again.
Yeah,
right? Where it was like it would cut to Odysseus on Calypso's island, and he'd be like, "Oh yeah, I have a wife," and then it cuts to the wife, and now we're back in now time, and then it'll do another sequence, come back to him, and be like, "Oh yeah, I have a son," and then it cuts to the son, and it feels like I did that maybe like 3 times, and I started to notice it. I see what you mean.
Yeah, I'm not too mad. I understand perhaps that's just like the method he chose to address stuff that, wasn't necessarily happening in the present. But I'm like, shit, at that point, just add another half hour to the movie. It's cool.
I've heard similar stuff where it's like, this thing is already so dense. A friend of mine was like, I would have been fine with an extra 15 minutes to soften out the end, because the end does end a little abruptly. We have that final scene with the suitors, and then it's like, all right, movie over.
Yeah.
And I would never, I just morally can't bring myself to say I want more added to this 3-hour movie. Especially if there were no intermissions. If there were more intermissions, then it'd be different.
I feel like I don't see why we can't bring back intermissions. I don't know. Charge me $1.
I agree.
Okay, let me stop.
No. You're right. No. You're right. If the middle class still existed, there's no reason why we couldn't bring back intermissions, as more people would go to the movie theater. But people don't go to the movie theater.
Yes.
And so there's no reason to do that extra time slot.
I'll just sit with my P Times app,
Yeah.
Oh, fun fact, if you're a peer, there's this guy. It's literally just a guy, and he has an app called Run P Time, and it will give you a list of P times where you could sneak off to the bathroom but not necessarily miss anything of importance, if that makes sense.
Sure.
But also for example, Disclosure Day, remember that train scene? I think that was one.
Yeah,
of the
you can
times.
skip you can skip the train scene for sure.
Honestly,
you can skip a lot of
for the Odyssey
movie.
though.
That movie. The further I get away from Disclosure Day, the more it pisses me off. I don't like that movie. I don't like that movie. But let's focus on
stick to Avatar, nigga.
Peak. Honestly, let's focus on Peak. Wait, what do you mean stick to Avatar?
I'm like, wasn't that
that? No,
Steven Spielberg.
Steven Spielberg didn't do Avatar. That's the Titanic nigga. What's his name?
Titanic nigga.
James Cameron.
Look up Titanic.
James Cameron.
Fuck.
James Cameron and Steven Spielberg are 2 different people.
That I know. My bad.
Unless. All right. No, it's okay. It's a simple mistake. I do that all the time. What have we not talked about? Sound. I think the sound design,
during the battle scenes, especially.
Oh, the sound design is pristine, which is really good for Christopher Nolan because I've always found his sound design to be awful. I loved Oppenheimer. I thought it sounded awful. The quiets were way too quiet to the point where we couldn't hear it, and the louds were way too loud. And there was like very little in between. I was like, I can't hear you, and also now I can't hear. But I thought the sound design was incredible. The
white boy
music
did
cue
that
with
white
the
boy
bow.
Ludwig.
Yeah, Ludwig. He's
Did
one of the greats. It's hard not to describe him as one of the greats. I do think musically, I wasn't super impressed with the score.
There could have been more. It felt like when you have someone like Ludwig Göransson at your hands, let him go off, you know?
Yeah.
There were some moments where I really liked, like, for example, there's a part where, I don't know if you could hear, like, James Blake's melodies, like, just, you hear him do his little...
Are you talking about the siren scene?
Was that when James Blake was
I don't remember.
Singing? I honestly, I couldn't even tell you what scene. I just know there's a part where you hear James Blake singing. Maybe not words, but also I gotta say I quite liked the siren scene.
I really liked the siren scene. It was
very smart
again with the sound
to not
design,
let
it was,
us
like,
hear
beautiful.
anything.
James Blake. I don't know which of these have James Blake.
I'm trying to. Oh wait, are you trying to like think of a song or like something?
Yeah, I'm looking at the score, the soundtrack. Yeah, I think the score was good and helpful, and it really helped amplify some of the scenes, especially the Troy scene. I think the soundtrack is fine. I'm not wowed by the soundtrack.
It could have been more.
I think there could have been more, especially with someone from Ludwig, but maybe not. Maybe there couldn't have been more. Maybe that would have detracted from some of it.
True.
And this is a really minor thing that I want to Sorry, go ahead. Yes.
No, I was going to say about how sexy that armor was on Agamemnon.
Oh, Agamemnon, played by Benny Safdie. Agamemnon just aura farming the whole war,
bro, the whole time.
I thought they did a great job with him, especially in the Troy scene.
It was
oh my god!
I know there was a lot of complaints about historical accuracy, blah blah blah, historical accuracy, and my thing with that is we're trying to capture the feeling of having like Agamemnon march into battle.
Yeah.
And what that meant for her, perhaps what it would have meant to people back then, what they would have seen, it's going to mean something different to every generation. Like, this shit is so old. So I felt like this...
In fact... Sorry, go ahead. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, I felt like this suit just, you know, it signified what it needed to signify for modern day audiences, which is just like, this nigga coming into battle or farming like crazy. He's not necessarily doing shit, but his presence... is what matters most.
And I think to your point about historical accuracy, like that's how, like, the Odyssey's original epic poem is not a single text. It is
we're missing a bunch of books.
It is the rendition that we have saved based on the figure, quote, or parentheses, figures known as Homer.
Yes.
But he merely captured a pre-existing oral tradition that had been passed down for probably centuries before him.
Yeah.
And so one thing I know about oral traditions is part of the tradition is changing it every time you tell it, right? Each time that tradition is repeated, there's something a little different, and it is part of oral tradition to change those things for the times. And so I think if you came to the Odyssey looking for like a true historically accurate rendition of Homer's The Odyssey, then you should go read The Odyssey, because this is not it. It is an adaptation. capital A adaptation. It is an adaptation of the novel or of the epic poem. And I think it works really well, especially for today and as a follow-up to Oppenheimer.
Yeah.
Because one of the things you were gonna say a thing about Zendaya, yeah? I think say the Zendaya stuff now.
My Zendaya stuff. Oh wait, I was gonna say something about Anne Hathaway. I think
say something. Say the Anne Hathaway stuff.
I thought he did a good job of bringing light to Penelope's experience, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think he did a good job of it showing, like, what is it like for this woman, like, especially with the exchange with Telemachus, when she's like, who do you think, Telemachus, what do you think who do you think's been holding this shit down this whole time? You're over here harping upon there's no king, this is a kingless kingdom, whatever. And it's like, nigga, who do you think been being king all the time? So I guess one of my things I was looking for when I came into the movie was like the handling of the female characters, I think. And I think
I have a thing to say that. And I need you to find whatever thing I'm missing or I'm biased towards. I agree with your point about Anne Hathaway and about Penelope, that scene with Penelope and like placing Penelope, really expressing the burden of being a kingless queen, right?
Yeah.
However, I do think it came at the cost of every other woman that's in the series, or that's in this that's from the epic poem, because almost at every single point of the story is directed by a woman. The initial Troy thing, or not directed, but like incited by a woman, right? The initial Troy thing with Helen. Yes, there were all these other political things as was expressed in the film. Yes, it's not just simply, I need the woman back, but it's like a woman's decision did this. Cersei, like part of Cersei's thing is her like distance from the gods that is informed by her femininity. We don't get to spend much time with Calypso. We don't get to learn about Calypso in the way that she also kind of was what is it, like exiled by the gods, by Poseidon. There's more women in the original. There's more of the women from at least editions I've read in the epic poem than have made it to Nolan's version.
I think I think perhaps at least how he decided to frame the story maybe might have something to do with that. I felt like it's overall this journey of this guy who he's feeling really bad about the shit he did in the name of war. And he knows he should want to go home, but he kind of doesn't want to go home, and he doesn't know why really yet, quite why. He doesn't fully, he's grieving, he's doing all these things, or like he's not even allowed to do any of those things because, he's like, I had to get my men home. But then like once his men are gone, it's like, oh wait, like do I even want to go home for real, bro? I feel like perhaps I think that might be part of why the other women don't feel as like full, but I don't know if that's necessarily because of like Penelope being so full.
Yeah, they might not be connected. That is just something that I feel like I walked away from.
I do feel like I was hoping a little bit more, because I felt like he started up some really good things with Helen, like a few of the things she said. I really loved how Helen was like scarred. Like that's not something I ever considered with when I like envisioned Helen and how the war affected her or not. So I think he did some really good things there. I feel like maybe that would have been what took it from like a 4.5 star to a 5 star for me. It's just like slightly more with like Helen, slightly more of Calypso, because I feel like a lot of it is dependent on us knowing this like old time. What is the word? age-old tale. Yes, an age-old tale.
Antiquated.
Antiquated. That's the fancy word for it. So, relying on our prior knowledge of that.
Yeah.
But I do think, not to say it's because he's a man, but like,
Yeah.
maybe that's kind of where it fell short a little bit.
Yeah, maybe. I just, in the way that I preface this section, like there are biases that we don't consider sometimes.
Yeah.
But I do want to talk about masculinity in this movie because
Yeah.
most translations, or at least many of the translations that I've read of the Odyssey, a big part of the epic tale is about this ancient Greek masculinity and the hubris that comes with the masculinity.
Because Odie got a lot of that.
Right. And I don't think this movie is about that really at all. Like, I do think there are clearly themes of masculinity, but it's less to do with, or at least, I think to your point about updating, I think hubris looks different these days.
Yeah.
Right? And I think a lot of men have this pride in this ego that causes them to internalize and taxonomize themselves based on things that are, yes, their fault, but also a lot of stuff that isn't their fault. Right? Just like Odysseus is like, a lot of this tale in Nolan's version is about his grief, him coming to terms with the decision that he made, in which he broke what is essentially the golden rule, like Zeus's law, but like treating people how you want to be treated. He tricked a civilization to accepting what they thought is a peace prize, and then slaughtered them all. Many of whom had nothing to do with the people that caused the issue. And while he bears that grief, and like you already said, like there's a part of him that kind of doesn't think he deserves to go home.
Yeah.
One of the things that he has the scene with Zendaya's Athena, I think it was Athena, where he was like, it was after the cows. It was after the other sailors ate the cows that they weren't supposed to eat. He was like, I let them down. I killed them. They are dead because of me. And she's like, no, they chose that. Yes, but I'm their leader. Right? And this idea of like taking in the masculine urge to take on burdens that do not belong to you because you have been taught that is what being a man is, right? Taking on burdens. I think a lot of, especially teenage and like young, like 20-year-old boys, something that I wish that they would take from this movie is like, those issues that you feel, the tangible dissonance that you feel, is not your fault. Right? The things that push men to the alt-right and to red pill and to like inceldom, like those issues are real, and sometimes shit is just bad and it's not your fault and there's not a lesson you have to learn there. The stuff that is your fault, atone. The stuff that you did, atone for it, right? That's what Odysseus had to do. He had to atone for what he actually did. But he couldn't go home until he let go of some of the stuff he did not do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was hoping for a better segue for that, but I think okay. Or wait, no, a better segue for me.
Okay. Go ahead, rip it. Rip the Band-Aid off. Hit the pivot.
What did I like about what Odysseus learned, and like, do I have anything to say about masculinity?
Because I think while you're thinking, just to add, like Robert Pattinson, his characters as a foil refused to own up to the stuff that he did do
to the very end.
To the very end, right? His own
I also gotta say,
decisions
I
put him in
really
his
liked
place.
Robert Pattinson as him.
I
He did
love Robert Pattinson.
he was
He is one
great.
of my favorite actors now.
He is.
He is one of my faves for sure.
I think the drama solidified that for me, but I'm
Me
like,
too. I think when the drama came around, I was like, I'm set. I'm set.
it's wild though. But I gotta say, I've been on that RPAT for longer than it's been socially acceptable. Like, as someone who didn't watch Twilight or didn't like partake in it, the cultural experience, I remember being back in the day watching Water for Elephants, and I'm like, this movie's kind of mid, but this nigga he's a really good actor. I'm like,
I
need y'all to
totally
see this.
get that. Sorry, go ahead.
No, that was it.
Okay. Well, I was gonna say I totally see that because I feel a similar way about Kristen Stewart, like bringing up Twilight. Even back then, I was like, guys, Kristen Stewart's a good actress. She just isn't a bad movie or 4 or 5 or whatever. Like, she's a good actress.
They thought she was a bad actor, but that's just how Bella. That's not Bella. That's how Bella acts.
Yeah, Loca.
Where you been, Loca? But I love that, like, it's almost like, I feel like her and Robert Pattinson are working their asses off to make us forget they're in Twilight. And that's fine. It's working.
Yeah.
But also, you don't have to repent from your YA crimes. It's okay. It's not your fault.
Back to the Odyssey, there is one actor that we haven't talked about very much that I do not want to end this video talking about, and that is Himesh Patel as Eurylochus.
Yeah!
Odysseus' first mate character. He's like barely in any of the advertising. Was not expecting to like this character to have this much of a presence, but he was exceptional. I thought I was so sold by in his position as the man who's supposed to first mate Odysseus. I thought he was really good. I found him really believable. I was surprised by how much screen time I guess I wasn't surprised by how much screen time he got. I know when the crew is all gone. But I thought he was really good trying to toe that line between following Odysseus even when you don't believe him and standing up to him even if you weren't sure what's going to happen. Yeah. Any other last things that you really want to get out about the Odyssey?
Oh, one of the best touches.
Things. We have more to talk about.
I definitely the reveal as the form Athena was taking.
I was going to talk about that too.
That was really good. So essentially, you realize that Athena.
This is the biggest spoiler for the movie. Yeah, like this is just fully. If you have not seen this movie, this is the spoiler of the movie.
Yes.
Continue.
So it turns out this entire time, Athena has been taking on the form of like this young village. This young girl who was caught up, of course, in the crossfire of the Trojan War. So one of the girls, who was like killed, beheaded, after they snuck into Troy with the horse.
Yeah,
and I was like, that was a really great touch.
And I really like it.
Just makes everything you saw before that just much more impactful. Like I remember specifically when Zendaya. Do you remember when she was looking disappointed as fuck at Odysseus? I'm like, damn, I feel disappointed in myself. I didn't do shit. So
because I could feel the difference in the beginning, because in the beginning of the epic poem, Athena's all over that bitch. Athena's like, guys, we have to get my oomphy home. We have to get my favorite man Odysseus back to his wife.
Bring my senpai home.
Yeah, he was like, I'm going to go talk to Telemachus. I'm going to talk to Telemachus again in disguise. I'm going to show up in all these places pretending to be an old man. And I kept waiting for someone to be like, you are Athena, right? And it never happened, which I was fine with.
Like that also, it made why like Telemachus was just going around like, Athena?
Yeah.
That knowledge makes it make more sense when you know that, just for people who maybe haven't read it recently.
And like the reveal of this figure, Athena, and I think he does he call her by name to her face? Because he mentions Athena and then it'll like show her, but I don't even know if he ever said to her Athena, right? which I think works at that on functionally a twist, because it kind of calls into question everything else, as you've already alluded to, right? I think it begs the question of like, what actually is the influence
what is
of
he actually
the gods?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even like, oh, does he knows he's seeing Athena, but like for him, is it like, oh, is he being haunted by his actions more than anything? Because that's kind of like, is he like just seeing like, he's like, oh, I'm having visions of the girl I indirectly got killed, you know, which almost makes it like, yeah.
I don't think the movie answers the question. I love a ramble. You should.
And I like it.
Feel free to ramble more. It never answered the question of like, where do the gods fit? Because there is a reading of this of, yes, that was Athena, but she took the form of that girl, or no, Athena was never there. That was just his weight, the weight of his guilt.
Yeah.
Or some third option or fourth option, like that.
Because now, if we're really thinking about it, there's not like any act beyond Athena. I guess there's not really like, not that you don't see any. Well, no, you don't see gods or necessarily know if they're like actually doing something. I mean, outside of like the story itself. For example, like when they when he stabs the Cyclops in the eye, and they're like, oh, you don't piss, that's Poseidon's son, right? You just piss that nigga off. And then they're getting fucked up in the waves and shit. But like, it's not necessarily like a divine sort of
There's no hand that reaches down
gods.
from the clouds. But there's no scene of the gods like talking about what Odysseus does or doesn't deserve. Like there is in the epic poem.
So it's like, outside of the monsters, of course, like the supernatural entities, it could really,
it's hard to fully
it
write
seems
it
like
out,
a guy's who are having a bad time. It could easily just be a guy who's having a shit journey,
which I think also works just in the metaphor for like that the duty and the burden of masculinity and like being being a leader in all these things. Because if you look at it purely secularly and interpret all of the divine, all of the monsters, all of the supernatural stuff as metaphor, I think there's still a beautiful story being told, both in the epic poem and in Christopher Nolan's Odyssey, but mostly Christopher Nolan's. There's still a beautiful story of like, I think the thing that really ties it all together is at the end when Odysseus is in disguise telling Penelope about all the stuff, and we learn actually the men from the sea, that ever looming threat that has been inching closer to Ithaca, was him and his men. I think that just like it really tied the whole thing together for me. I think one of my biggest issues with Nolan is I feel like a lot of the movies that I've seen have a really good idea and they execute the idea really well. But there's not a lot of like filling to the subtext, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I think Oppenheimer did it really well, but also Oppenheimer is like based on a book, and it is, well, a bunch of stuff are based on a book. Based on a book and based on a like real man's life, and a lot closer to home than some of the more like spacey, weird, mind-bending stuff. Tenet, even Inception. But I think thematically, the Odyssey, rich.
So rich.
Consistent.
I gotta say, okay, not to go back in time, but I like give this nigga some credit, because I actually quite liked the Cersei scene. At least how
I like the Cersei scene too.
He assembled it in a way where to me it just really read as, women who back then they would get visited by soldiers, and the intention is like, oh, you're gonna like the what is assumed that's probably going to happen, and especially like women like that, like, oh, you're going to like potentially rape or like take all her shit and all that. And I thought it was a great way to show the experience of women during war, just just women who are just living there and shit. I even love like how he did the transformation of them like turning into pigs.
Grotesque.
I really like,
and it was
super
like
body
positive.
war-ish.
Yes.
Yeah, grotesque good. And then even when she's turning them back into humans, but she's like, get back into your disguise.
Yeah, to
like
call their human form the disguise. Yes.
I was like, oh, this shit is good. Somebody's about to write a banger ass feminist article. Yes.
Yeah.
So as much as I do feel like,
do you think that's your favorite
from,
scene?
Like, Helen. I think that was my favorite like woman scene, if that makes sense. Or I feel like where I felt like the feminism was fully actualized in a way.
Okay, well then
I really quite liked.
I want to say my favorite woman scene, and then we'll both say our favorite man scenes. My favorite woman scene is the scene with Anne Hathaway and Robert Pattinson, where he's like, "Just marry me." I just that scene of these two actors acting at each other.
Yes,
I thought first like world class, like master class is what I meant. Master class scene. These two incredible actors, but I loved the way it was shot, where it was shot through the loom. And even as like Robert Pattinson can talk, it was obscured, so you could really only see her face. And there were a couple times where Penelope, Anne Hathaway's Penelope, was talking to somebody, and it would keep the focus on her even when she wasn't speaking, just to see the little stuff that she does as she's reacting. I thought that was beautiful. I loved that dialogue scene.
Yes. I hate to say it, but I think my favorite Penelope scene was when she was going off on Lil Tom.
Yeah.
Lil T.
Yeah.
I'm like, my favorite.
I didn't like that scene as much, but man scene.
I'm like, man scene. I kind of loved anything with like Menelaus.
You like John Bernthal?
I feel like he was the perfect Menelaus. Like he was like, he's a little not ugly, but like brutish.
Yeah, brutish.
And like,
yeah.
Brutish is he was the perfect person to play like this brutish fucking. You kind of want to jump back because maybe his breath stink or something.
Sure.
Like
I mean, I think John Bernthal, just from Punisher to Mikey and the Bear to just like all the one-off characters that are all roughly similar in these action movies, John Bernthal has like mastered the brute. Right,
he does.
Like
he did.
just as an archetype, that is his bag for sure.
Like sometimes it's good to have a bag, you know.
Yeah.
I think there's getting typecasted, and then there's just like you're just really fucking good at what you do, so you're just the person that comes in mind when we need like a brute character.
Yeah. I think my favorite man scene is. Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Oh no, my of course my favorite man scene. I hate to say it is well, as a collective, was probably when Agamemnon walks. They open the fucking gate.
I was just about to say the sacking of Troy was maybe my favorite scene, right?
Because also, like, Matt Damon didn't know all those people were going to be back there.
Oh, can we put a pin in that? Because I do want to talk about that in a second. I really loved the Troy scene, from the quiet when they're leaving the horse, to the way the camera would track Matt Damon as they're running through Troy, and you can just see the stuff starting to build in the background, holding right on his head. But the shots where they're on the wall and he drops the lantern and it lights up the army. Movie! That's the point. I fully gamer leaned in that bitch. I fully sat all the way up. I was like, oh my God.
I had like a reclining seat, so I had to like push my shit back up so I could be more straight up.
Oh yeah.
Literally.
Yeah,
I hate
to
to
like
say it,
them
but like
opening it at
watching that whole
Agamemnon or
scene,
farming. Yeah,
I'm like, this feels orgasmic. Like, I don't know how to describe it better without
sure.
sounding overly freaked out.
No, I don't think that's too far off, because they do the whole sequence of them being stuck in the horse, and it's like this is the release to the
Yes.
gambit that they set up, right? I don't
Great
think
payoff.
orgasmic is really that far off. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
I also gotta say, who the fuck said it? I'm like, that definitely had to be some like far right rumor made up. I don't know, because I remember there was like this whole uproar about Elliot Page playing Achilles, which also didn't really make sense since Achilles isn't
It's
really
not in the Odyssey.
The Odyssey. Like, I don't even know if he's like maybe he's mentioned.
He's mentioned.
So regardless, it would have been like a non-issue, because it's like you're worried about a nigga who's not here.
Yeah.
But second of all, I'm like,
well, I'm pretty sure what happened was someone found out Elliot Page was going to be in the movie, and someone was like, "Ha, Elliot Page, I hate trans. What are they gonna? The wokest thing they could do was make him Achilles." Someone was like, "He's playing Achilles." like just go crazy immediately. Yeah, there's a bunch of people lying.
Just a bunch of liars. Making shit up.
Me when I lie for fun. Fully just making
and
shit
also
up.
I have to say, when I found out it was getting review bombed a bit, I fully understood after I watched the movie why a certain kind of man would probably hate this movie.
Yeah,
because at its root, Odysseus, beyond him being the brilliant strategist, the leader, the hero of the Trojan War, he's just a sad guy who's pretty traumatized, and he maybe got anxiety, to be honest. I don't know. He got PTSD something.
It's not sexy. It's not stereotypically sexy in masculine spaces to feel guilty for the things you do.
Yes.
And
also,
so
damn,
have
Matt
a
Damon's
movie
body,
about
I'm like,
guilt.
let me go to the gym.
Yeah, then it was cut. Yeah, I don't know what's up with that. Well, I do know what's up with that. He worked out really well.
He went to the gym.
And I do want to take that pin off the wall about like Matt Damon not knowing all those guys were going to be back there. Just the amount of practicality in this movie is daunting. They were actually sailing on the Mediterranean. They were actually filming in a boat.
Yes.
If there was a man on screen, that was a real person. And so during those war scenes where there's hundreds of people just in the background, those were all real guys. The scene in the underworld Nolan, when they all popped up from the ground, they were actually under the dirt.
One of my favorite shots in the movie for sure.
Yeah.
I gotta say, it does make me very hopeful how anti-AI and even CGI, like how anti-CGI Nolan is.
Yeah.
I love it.
I think
the Cyclops
was worth
that nigga was there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's there. And I hope a lot of directors are like, you know what? Like, yeah, I don't want this AI shit. Like, I want to be like Nolan, you know?
Yeah. And I will say for like aspiring directors, right? There's no world where you're gonna just off rip get 1,000 dudes in armor for a battle scene. But I would still encourage like small what's the word I'm looking for? Short film creators, YouTube filmographers to just try the practicality, because it's just worth it. It really worked out for this movie.
To bring it from a smaller scale, something I thought about I know when Boots Riley was doing the music for I Love Boosters, a lot of it was just like they had to like find a way to make the sounds with like, you know, different like tangible objects. Like, I don't have specifics into how it's made, but you know, just taking it back to like the analog shit, you know? So like finding creative ways around, you know, maybe budget shit, I think is also a way that like you see a lot of cool things happening. So you have it on the scale of like Nolan, who can do what he wants because he has like all that fucking money. But then you have like hungry ass directors who are like, I gotta find a way around it. And then the product is often quite cool. So I'm feeling really hopeful about movies. I feel like this has been a good year.
I think this has been a good year for me, for sure. For me personally, this has been a really good year. Yeah. All I need is Dune to be good, and I'm set.
Oh shit! When does Dune come out? I still gotta watch the first.
In
I gotta
December.
say, I was locked into that trailer.
Yeah. I
also isn't like
haven't
Paul
watched
like a descendant?
Yeah, diegetically in like the Dune universe, he is a descendant of Agamemnon, I believe, or something like that. One of them. Yeah.
Also, I gotta say, when they took his helmet off, I also love how you don't see Agamemnon, like his actual face. I thought that was also a nice touch. Like you only know what he represents. Like you don't actually know him. You just know what he represented for the kingdom.
I think that's also a good way to describe it.
Safdie, is that his name? He has
Benny Safdie.
Like when I saw his hair, I was like, damn, curls poppy. Period.
Yeah. Good movie.
So what's our
highly
score?
Recommend. I would get. Do we do 5 point or 10 point?
I usually just do 5. Maybe that's my letterbox.
I would say if I could go between 4 and 4.5, but if I can't go between, I'd say 4.5. You could do. I really liked this movie.
Letterbox, you can do
not
0.25.
Perfect. Then 4.25. I really like this movie, but it was not perfect, and
very close.
That was it. Yeah, just very good. Very good. Highly recommend it. This is cinema, baby. This is what a summer blockbuster can be, and this is what I want every summer blockbuster to aspire to be. Right? And while we're waiting for the next summer blockbuster, Leah, where can they find us?
You can find us on any place that they have podcasts, including Apple Podcasts, Spotify. Like I said, if there's some app you want to see us on and we're not there, I'll get us on there. And you can also find our extra, perhaps not as pod-friendly content in our office hours on Patreon.
$4 or $5 a month on Patreon, you got access to Office Hours, the pod after the pod, where we're a little looser, a little bit riskier, maybe consume some legal substances, and just have a little more fun. And if you want a sneak peek, here it is.
Did he have like a balloon fetish?
There was a balloon fetish guy. There was a different guy with the balloon fetish. That was one of the less
weird fetishes, I feel like. Like, as a kid, I'm like, oh,
all right, you've got to defend that. You've got to defend the balloon fetish. Yeah.
Well,
I need you to explain why the balloon fetish is one of the lesser weird ones. I'm not saying I disagree. I just need to hear what you have to say. So if you can afford it, please send it our way. If not, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe to the video. And until we see you next, stay black, stay nerdy, and read books.
Read books.
Read the Odyssey.
Interview with the Vampire. Read the Odyssey.
Read the Odyssey. If anybody's like, oh, is it good?
Yeah, I have an
Odyssey. Who? What's the publisher?
Shit, I have to find it. I just know that when my sister was in middle school, to teach them the Odyssey, they utilized this graphic novel, which I think is actually a great idea to teach kids about the Odyssey.